I'm Laura Kerr. I'll be the Associate Director of Athletics at FirstPoint USA.
What has been the highlight of your athletic career so far?
Yeah, so I was selected to throw javelin for the Great Britain under-23 squad when I was 19, and for me that was probably the standout moment.
And now, what about your standout moment when competing in the NCAA?
Yeah, I think for me, probably just experiencing the conference meets, getting to some of those stadiums, Florida Gators, LSU. LSU are so iconic in track and field, so we actually get to that stadium, see the LSU Tiger for the first time and so on. So yeah, those would be my highlight moments.
Main influencing factors in your decision of going to the US?
So I went out as a javelin thrower at 22, and for me it was about trying to, I guess, experience something new that would take my training to the next level. So I was very driven to train and study as a full-time kind of athlete or student athlete. So I wanted to pursue a master's degree, and it gave me the opportunity to train full-time and pursue the master's degree at the same time. Obviously there was the attraction of the weather as well, and I guess I was a javelin thrower, so in the field events quite often there's not the depth within the UK for training, so I was kind of driven to find teammates that I could train with on a daily basis, and the college setup is perfect for that.
Speaking of the college setup, what were your best experiences as a Division 1 athlete in the US?
Yeah, so probably my ultimate highlight was graduating with a master's degree and a 4.0 and making the President's Academic Honour Roll and so on. But I think getting to experience some of the facilities, so competing at LSU, which is absolutely renowned, competing at the Florida Gators Stadium, Texas A&M, to see and experience those facilities and the fans, and just the hype that goes around college athletics. That's not something that you really find in the UK, and I'd never experienced that before.
Absolutely, and you've mentioned some big schools, so what are some of the best facilities you've seen out in the US?
Yeah, I was super impressed by the Texas A&M facilities, I think LSU as well, but overall all of the facilities really offer, like for student athletes, they offer on campus your track facility, potentially an indoor track, your S&C, your physiotherapy, so everything's just right there in a stone's throw of where you're living and where you're accessing your dining hall as well. So for me it was the accessibility of all of it. A number of our athletes in the UK, location is a barrier, and finding a track and actually having time with a coach who's quite often voluntary. So for me to have that all wrapped up for daily training all in one site, that was a huge attraction.
You're speaking of some of the amazing opportunities the US offers athletes. What advice would you give aspiring athletes going out looking to go to the US?
Yeah, I would say talk to people. I would say talk to your own coach, talk to your parents, but ultimately I think you do need guidance. In our sport we see athletes who perhaps try and find their own way to the US, and they maybe take their first or their only offer. So they haven't really marketed themselves, and they haven't really gone out there to see what the range of offers available are. So I would say working with a company like FirstPoint USA will allow you to access the best range of opportunities, to understand what you need to do for some of the more academic colleges as well, and to be able to really get support around your SATs and make sure that you're a really attractive candidate, not only athletically but also academically.
Now, speaking about FirstPoint USA, what is most exciting about heading up the athletics department here for you?
Yeah, I think I've been really impressed by what Andrew's done here, and I can see that FirstPoint USA is really world leading in what they're doing, and they've placed so many athletes in other sports. But for me there is a gap there in athletics. So I think to be able to come into an already successful company that's really well resourced with really talented staff, but be able to really lead the athletics, I think no one has yet done that within the UK or within the world kind of globally, where they've really taken a hold of athletics and driven it. And I think for me, coming from inside the sport, I think I bring all that experience of athlete development, of working with parents as well. So I'm just really excited to lead athletics and to kind of launch it as something new for FirstPoint.
Now, you're the expert here in athletics. What level of athletes are the US institutions looking for?
Yeah, so I think colleges want athletes that are going to score at conference, okay? So they're going to compete conference, regionals, and then hopefully nationals, but they're really looking for scoring athletes. So every conference is going to be different, and they're going to have different opportunities depending on whether Division 1 or Division 2. An athlete that has perhaps competed at like European Championships level, either European under-18s or European juniors, will be super attractive to a US college, and they'll be very competitive for Division 1 scholarships. For others that are maybe well ranked in the track events in the UK, for example, they can be looking at a minimum of Division 2 scholarships, and in the field events, you know, those top ranked athletes will be really competitive as well. But obviously there's opportunities also at D3 and NAIA. So really for those students, it's about being an attractive athlete with your academics as well, and you may be able to get into, you know, a stronger college or university if you have those strong academics to bring with your athletics as well.
Obviously it's a combination of athletics and academics. Do all track and field disciplines offer scholarships?
Yeah, so really the only discipline that we see on the global programme that doesn't offer a scholarship would be race walking, and that is done in the UK. There's no scholarships there for that, but actually the American college programme even offers some additional events. So over there we have the medley relay, which is an additional opportunity, as well as the weight throw, it's similar to hammer, and a lot of our hammer throwers convert well into the weight throw. So that's an indoor event. So yeah, full programme of athletics, of track and field, indoor and outdoor, but also cross country.
So for someone that's interested in pursuing a scholarship, what are the next steps?
Yeah, I think the next step really are to probably have a look on our website, connect with me even for an introductory just conversation. I think also speak to your coach and speak to your parents, and if you do know someone, particularly in your event group, who's had that experience and gone out there, talk to them about the benefits, talk to them about the value of it, find out if they thought there were any pitfalls, but really make sure you go in with your eyes opened and you want to gather as much information and be really informed and educated. And one thing I want to do at FirstPoint is make sure we prepare the athletes to not just survive in that environment, but to really thrive and utilise it, to make sure they come out, you know, aspiring for major championships for their countries as well.